أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله وسراجا منيرا، وتركنا على المحجة البيضاء ليلها كنهارها لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك، صلوات ربي وسلامه عليك يا رسول الله. أما بعد، يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم التنزيل بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. ويقول عز من قائل: ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Praise and glory be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful, the most gracious. And peace and blessings be upon Prophet Mohammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I bear witness that there is no deity worthy of worshipping except Allah, and that Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is his last messenger and prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had mentioned in the Quran what could be translated to: O who you believe, be mindful of Allah in the best way befitting for him, and never die except on the state of Islam, the state of total surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will. And he also mentions whoever attains taqwa for Allah, whoever is God conscious, Allah will open bounties for him and her from places which they never expect. Dear brothers, dear sisters, dear elders, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala day and night for the bounty of Islam. And we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the bounty of Iman, our faith that dwells within our hearts, that keeps us connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Lord and our Creator. It is befitting during these tough times to talk about the best source of guidance for believers and to live under the shade of that guidance, because since the elections there has been so many different theories and feelings and people doing things that are totally irrational. And people started to think about some people, taking off their hijab, some people changing their names, some people leaving the United States, all kinds of things. And of course, some people are saying, no, this is home and we're staying here. So I thought I'll share with you some of the thoughts that I was able to take in the shade of two ayat in Surah Al-An'am that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us how should we react to all of this. Because subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not leave the believers on earth without guidance. The Quran al-Kareem is our guide. And it tells us exactly how we should think and how we should process the events that are taking place around us. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always in control. That's one thing that we can always count on. That everything that happens by Allah's will. And what we have to understand is this life is a test. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He created death and life so that He will see who is the best amongst you in the deeds. So it's a test. That's the whole life that we are living in. Sometimes my children tells me, but Dad, it's not fair. Of course it's not fair. Life is not fair. Whoever tells you life is fair is lying to you. Life is a time of test. Is a time that we go on a journey to the inside of us and see what we are made of. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives you tests from here, some personal, some communal, some all around the world. And we have to think and know how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at us at the time that we are going through the test. So what happened with Mr. Trump, who's soon to be the president, happened by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Part of what we are going to go through. But when we live in the shade of the Quran, we truly understand how this test that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about, how does it manifest itself in us and also in the people that might fail or might pass. So in just these two ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the test and talks about the sociology of human beings, because there's a science. A lot of you are engineers and scientists and medical doctors. Not a whole lot of us go into the field of sociology, but there's a science in sociology. Just like when you hit matter and you do something to it, you expect something based on physics. Societies are the same way. When you deal something with them, something will come out. And the Quran tackles that in these ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Surah Al-An'am in ayat number 112 and 113. He says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وكذلك جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا شياطين الإنس والجن يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا ولو شاء ربك ما فعلوه فذرهم وما يفترون ولتصغى إليه أفئدة الذين لا يؤمنون بالآخرة وليرضوه وليقترفوا ما هم مقترفون. Two ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes it, and inshallah we're going to go in details today so that we understand what these ayat mean. And what these ayat truly give us a sense of understanding of these events that are taking place around us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ عَدُوًّا. And we truly made, and there exists to every prophet an enemy. And it is not just the personal enemy for the prophet, because most prophets actually were liked as human beings. They were good people. But when they started to call with their ideas, because Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, before he became a prophet, he was a Sadiq al-Amin, right? He was the most trustworthy. As soon as he started to talk about Islam, he became the liar. He became the guy that brings up things. So it's not really the persona of the prophet, it is actually the idea. So for every good idea out there, for every truth, there will be an enemy. There will be something fighting it. And that's Allah. In English, they call it an axiom. In Arabic, it's qanoon. Sunnatullah fi khalqi. Qanoon, it's an axiom. That whenever you have something that is good, that represents the truth, falsehood will sure pop its ugly head. That's just the way it goes. And the more the truth is prevailing, the more the power that's against it will come running. And it's not only one, there will always be one truth, but there will be many, many falsehoods. So that is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made things happen. And there's reason why. And the ayat explains why this actually takes place. And then he says, شَيَاطِينَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ. That these people or these entities that are fighting goodness, fighting the truth, that are actually enemies to the truth, are shayateen. And the word shayateen does not mean only the jinn that we sometimes, colloquially we say shaitan, it means that you're like a jinn, but it's not. Shaitan comes from the verb, the root, shatana. And shatana means somebody who's actually went astray. And a shaitan, how does a person or even a jinn become a shaitan? Is when they truly move away from the truth. When their inner being, in Arabic it's called al-kaynuna, لما كينونته becomes shar, it becomes true evil, then they become truly a shaitan, somebody who actually embodies evil. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says al-ins wal-jinn. So subhanallah, shaitan is not always jinn. Prophet Muhammad said, when you see a black cat, he called it a shaitan. That doesn't mean it's a jinn, that's a cat. A shaitan means it's dark, it's so dark, right? Because it went away from the norm. The norm of the cats are they have different colors and they're nice and stuff like that. And then you see totally black one. That's why he called it a shaitan. That doesn't mean it's a jinn. Some people think, oh, it's a black cat, oh, it's a demon. It's not, it's the cat. So, shayateen al-insi wal-jinn. So the ins can also be shaitan because they embody what's bad. They embody falsehood. And by the way, shayateen al-ins are worse than shayateen al-jinn. Because shaitan al-jinn, you read Quran and they leave. Shaitan al-ins, you read the whole Quran and they're still there. They don't budge. They're going to come at you no matter what. So these are the people who actually raise the flag of falsehood as their flag. Those are the ones who are enemies to the truth. يُوحِي بَعْضُهُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ زُخْرُفَ الْقَوْلِ غُرُورًا. They inspire each other. And they talk about this evil concept. But they talk about it in nice fashion. That, hey, we want to make America great again. Nice, of course, I want to make America great again. But you know what's the inside, the ugly one? I want to make it racist again. That's what's ugly. So they take the ugly part of what they believe in, which is racism, which is misogyny, which is people that are actually hate anything other than white. And they consider them to be lower grade humans. And they make it like nice in a zukhruf. Zukhruf means that they're really making it all nice and beautifying it. They take that ugly concept of racism and misogyny and they say, we want to make America great again. How do you want to make America great again? Make it all white. Right? So that is what's happening. They take falsehood and they put it all together, and not only that, ghurura, they're actually happy about it and arrogant about it. Because they think they are doing the right thing. And they are spewing all this hate, but in a nice envelope. So you have a bad idea, they put it in a nice envelope and they start transmitting. And remember this word, transmitting. They are transmitting falsehood in a nice way. Like, like the colloquial word, they say they put a lipstick on a pig to make the pig look nice. That's a pig. And they transmit these ideas through their media, through their, authors and symposiums, and you name it. They keep throwing these ideas out and transmitting them. And that's part of the key of these ayat. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ مَا فَعَلُوهُ. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed it, they wouldn't have done it. If Allah willed it, they couldn't have done it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is letting this thing happen. Just like when I started, I said, all of this is happening by the will of Allah. Of course, the people who believe in the truth, they say, why? We want only the good things to happen. We want our good ideas to have no opposition. No. وَتَوَدُّونَ أَنَّ غَيْرَ ذَاتِ الشَّوْكَةِ تَكُونُ لَكُمْ. And you enjoy that the thing that is not hard to be yours. You want to get the A, but you want it easy. It's not going to happen. When you are holding the truth based on this axiom, you will have enemies. When you are doing the right thing at work, just take it to the very simplest terms. When you are doing the right thing at work, you have enemies. Because there are people with agendas, and they will do all kinds of things to oppose you. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, if He willed it, they wouldn't have been able to do it. So why? There's a reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is letting falsehood be. He could have just basically eradicated it. And then He says, فَذَرْهُمْ وَمَا يَفْتَرُونَ. So leave them with their lies. Let them spew their lies. And that's, a little bit, I would say, not, kind of a reactive way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is teaching us to be more proactive than reactive. Because if we are reactive, everything that they say, we're going to fight them back. No, if you said this, I'm going to say this. You said this, I'm going to say this. And sometimes it's okay to do that, but not all the time, because when you do that all the time, you lose your message. So what's the best way to do this? Allah says it in a different part of the Quran. بل نقذف بالحق على الباطل فيدمغه فإذا هو زاهق. Our method in fighting falsehood is we throw goodness and we throw the truth on falsehood, and falsehood will disappear. That's how we fight it. So become more proactive rather than reactive. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, do not engage in the tit for tat, but keep on your message. Keep on your good message, because when you do that, that's when your message starts to stick. Now in the second ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now explains to us why doesn't He leave them and why He wants us to be proactive rather than reactive. He says, وَلِتَصْغَى إِلَيْهِ أَفْئِدَةُ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ. So that the hearts, the reason why all of this is happening and all these bad ideas and falsehoods are being transmitted, He said, so the people who have hearts that don't believe in the day of judgment will listen to it. Tasgha, as if your hearts has ears. It doesn't. Your hearts don't have ears. But here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that their hearts would listen to that falsehood, would accept that falsehood. And this is where the test happens. Because if you have a clean heart, when falsehood comes, you will reject it because you have a clean heart. But this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, apparently this is how the test in our society happens. That if you have a bad heart, and He describes it as الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ, means that those that don't believe in the day of judgment. That doesn't mean that everybody, like the kuffar only. No, there will be people from even amongst the Muslims. Because they might say, I believe in the akhirah, but what is in the akhirah? The akhirah is recollection of everything. It is judgment day. So when you do something bad and you say, I'm just going to do it no matter what, are you thinking about the akhirah? No. So if your heart is not always connected with the akhirah, if your heart is not always connected that, hey, there's repercussions to what I do, and that's what keeps us from doing something bad, then your heart will start to take those in. And subhanAllah, it is this exactly how it is. The people who are not connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when they see this falsehood, they would accept it. They would take it in. And their hearts would listen to it. So the first part is listening. Second part, وَلِيَرْضَوْهُ. وَلِيَرْضَوْهُ, it means that they would not only accept it, but they would become proponents of it. Rida means I'm okay. You want to make it racist? Yeah, but we're going to make it great again. So they will take that in. And this is also, kind of coming up to the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making this happen. And then the last part, وَلِيَقْتَرِفُوا مَا هُمْ مُقْتَرِفُونَ. And then they will act on their hatred. They will act on their evil. And they will show exactly what they're made of. Their hearts that are non-believing hearts will now manifest itself with their deeds. So 3 things will happen. 1, they would listen to it. 2nd, their hearts would accept the falsehood. And 3rd, they will act upon that falsehood. And subhanAllah, acting on this falsehood really gives us 2 things. 1 is that it shows that they have failed the test. Because they have no alibi to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment. Allah put His hujjah on them. You did it. So it serves as, yes, they have done the bad deed. There's no 2 ways. That's it. They have done it. That's one. That's one thing that we get out of it. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells them, I showed you what's good. I showed you what's bad. Your hearts were bad. You listened to it and you did it. They have no excuse. That's why the Quran is called Hujjatullah al-Baligha. It is truly the testimony of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is everlasting until the day of judgment. That's one. The second thing that it does is it starts to show people, and people who cannot sometimes see that transmitted things are bad, because whether we like it or not, 2/3 of human beings, when the idea is in the realm of theory, they don't get it. Very few people do get it. When you present the theory to them, they don't get it. They say, I don't know if this is good, bad. I mean, it's hard. But when it actually translates itself to actual deeds, they get it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to show the rest of the people that bad idea that was accepted by those people, look at the results. And then people will wake up and see that, yes, that was false, and change. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to actually show the people who are actually doing it that you did it, and then the people who did not get it just because it's still in the world of theory, that this is what really happened. So I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you can come in, please, as much as possible. I'll give you an example. When back in the 40s, when a lot of the economical theories were put in place through the banking systems in the 30s and the 40s, which we are living in today, some of the Muslims, the ulama, said, this is no good. This will actually hurt societies. The idea of interest will actually hurt societies. Nobody listened. Interest. It's all the same. No big deal, right? This is economy. We are the first world. And now, when people started to see that countries in Europe, their economical systems are collapsing, and even here in the United States, we will see a collapse. I bet you on that. Well, it should be very good. It's a form of speech. There will be something. Why? Because it's unjust. Usury is unjust. It's taking advantage of the poor man. I mean, look at the new president. He never paid taxes in his life. Right? So what's happening in Europe right now, we haven't got caught to it here in the United States. They are changing their economical theories to become more Islamic. They don't call it Islamic, of course, because that's bad. But they are taking the same things, and that's fine. It's okay, you can call it whatever you want. But the Islamic principle, so most people did not really see it when it was theory, but now when they see countries like Greece, go down, they say, wow, something is wrong with that system. Of course, we told you back in 1940 something is wrong. But people did not listen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala here is saying that let them do it. SubhanAllah, it is as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that in order for the truth to really shine, it needs somebody to oppose it. Remember after 9/11, they pushed hard. What happened? More people became Muslim. So the more they push, the more the good idea will actually shine. So don't consider what happened is bad. It is good, inshallah. The more they oppose the truth, the more the truth will shine, inshallah. And we are confident that our message is God's message. And God's message is always the truth, and it's always good for all of humanity. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those who would raise the flag of the truth and raise the flag of Islam and let people understand that we are good for America and that we are fighting America. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه كان غفورا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. عباد الله، إن الله أمركم بأمر عظيم ابتدأ به بنفسه وثنى بملائكة قدسه حيث قال: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا منك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات المؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر.